am super rare at being natural. It's like the rarest of the rare out there. Clarity is the massive term. What is the clear vision that a person wants for themselves without all the noise? Yeah? What do you really want for you?
Andy Wilkinson, 61 years old, 100% natural, and absolutely shredded. No pills, no powders, and no magic potions. His six-pack has already gone viral around the world, and the question people are asking is how? In this conversation, he breaks down how to stay strong, youthful, and never let the old man in.
It's the intensity of how hard you work out in the hour, yeah? Not how much. Less is more, because the core is everything. As I just said about when you start with a house, you start with a foundation. The foundation of the body is the core. It's the most disrespected thing on the body. There's a big thing for me personally is having...
Like, okay, is he natural? Is he on TRT? So what are you on, if you are on something? What do you think the number one limiting belief is that people have at your age when it comes to their health?
Their mindset, definitely, that if they haven't particularly done any exercise or haven't taken care of themselves, they only maybe at that kind of age start to look at themselves if anything goes wrong. And then you could say a lot of the damage has been done, depending on... and again, I think a lot of people of all ages don't kind of look 10 years on. What do I want to be like in 10 years? How do I want to be? I mean, I know a lot of people say, what do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to be in that 5-year plan? But what about 10 years? So I suppose in my perception I've always looked at when I was 40, I wanted to be training as well at 40 as I was 50 and 50 as I was 60. And there's no limiting beliefs on me achieving that. Obviously, I'm not going to be as strong because testosterone does deplete as you get older. But and again, I do passionately love working out, and with that comes amazing quality of life from the inside out.
How was it different for you? So yes, you are already in your 60s and you have a six-pack. And personally, I never met someone who was 60 and had a six-pack. I'm from Hungary, and people around that age, everybody is already kind of like, hunching over, seems very old, seems very tired, and that just seems normal. So like looking at your example, there has to be something special about it. So I was wondering, like, what's the story there? Like, were you always like this? Were you always fit? Or there was some, let's say, like a pivotal moment in your life when you're like, okay, I need to take my health more seriously?
Okay, well, I'll take you back. I first started picking weights up at 18, and maybe something happened at 18, and I love this thought of what it was to weight train, and slowly when I was younger, seeing my body change with muscles and feeling great about it. And if we go on through my 20s, which I did enjoy my 20s, and I say to guys in the gym, you're in what I call the bulletproof decade in your 20s, so you can do anything, smash anything. It's kind of like what you do. No one ever told me that, but I've recently moved to a new gym just before Christmas, and it's surrounded with a lot of young people. I'm the oldest, definitely one of the oldest in there, but I'm quite happy to pass my experience on to a lot of people in that gym, especially if I see them kind of training hard. And it is quite funny sometimes that if I do see someone training hard, that's the only time I will really say something. I'm going to waste my time, but butt in. And then a lot of the time, some of the youngsters or young guys are like looking at me thinking, who's this guy? Who's this old guy telling me what to do? And I literally do have to go, yeah. Do you think I know what I'm talking about? And oh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. So you have to give them kind of some kind of proof that this guy who's talking to them, who doesn't, in a T-shirt, doesn't particularly look anything. But then when they see it, they think, oh, yeah, this guy there. They're like, wow, yeah, okay. And then they listen. Because obviously a picture paints 1,000 words. So anyway, getting into my early 30s, I was this big guy. I think I would have been 15 and a half stone. thought I was all this big lump of muscle, really. And then I went on holiday, and I'm on holiday, and I was with this the lady, the girl I was seeing at the time. And I remember this guy came on the beach, and I saw the way the girl looked at him, and I said, I'm looking at this guy, and this guy like had a six pack. This guy was like in great shape. So I kind of came back in my early 30s, and then I'm going to just reshape myself here. I'm going to get rid of this great big body, this bulking body, and I want that beach body. And that's kind of like where my journey came. And then I concentrated on the core above all, as in most people always, they leave it till last, but even when they leave it till last, they don't do anything. Yeah. But then my saying to the young guys in the gym I'm in now, when you build a house, what do you start with? And they go, the foundation. So what is the foundation of the body? So I say, there you go. Then 10 minutes when you come to the gym on the foundation, it also warms you up. So even now, after all these years, still no one does it. Yeah, that, you know, I do it. I respect it. Yeah, and also, you know, it's a very sexy. Apart from being very, very good for you, protecting your lower back and good, and when you get the right nutrition, you know, it's a good aesthetically, as I say, beach body. Is kind of like what I've achieved and what I've kept over the years. I'm still working on now.
So you started your journey in your 30s. So it's been like 20, 30 years already.
Yeah.
I assume that your approach to health and fitness has also changed throughout the decades. So can you maybe just very quickly walk us through, or you don't have to do it quickly, that how your approach has changed over the years, let's say to exercise, to nutrition, recovery, or have you been following the exact same routine ever since you started taking care of your health?
In my 40s, I started to get a lot more clarity, the clarity of everything that was involved, not just training and nutrition. How did I want my life to go with what I was doing, which I was always doing every single week, no matter what I did, I would go to the gym, I would find time. And again, it is because I'm very passionate about it. I still love it. And so, yeah, I decided I've got to have a more clearer path of what I wanted out of this. And then I obviously, along the way, you have a plan, and the plan I had to adapt. So you have to get a plan. It's going to go, you think it's going to go that way, then it goes that way, then it goes the other. So I had more clarity about setting my business up, which was, I'm going a bit forward now. At 52, I decided to do what I'm doing now, which was, I don't like the term personal trainer. I probably am a personal trainer or a life coach or whatever. But I knew at that particular time that my USP was going to be my age.
So you said that like your training regimen kind of like changed over the years, and then in your 40s you started to get more clarity.
Yeah.
About what exactly? So you mentioned one thing, that what you wanted to get out of this. Can you maybe share like what is it exactly that you wanted to get out of this?
I've always been very naturally strong, and then I realised that as you get older, you've got to keep strength. You've got to train hard, and you've got to make sure that you're still picking up. Again, this isn't what I teach to everyone, because I don't. If I teach my clients, I do teach them a different way than I teach myself. You've still really got to push, and also less is more. So it's the intensity of, and I'm sure this has been said loads of times, but it's very, very true. It's the intensity of how hard you work out in the hour. Yeah, not how much. Less is more. Less is more in nearly everything in life, apart maybe from sleep. But yeah, you definitely. I think most people from any age need a good 7 to 8 hours. But as towards getting your nutrition right and your training, once you have built the foundation, it's just keeping the foundation, and then it's looking at of all the information that's around you, which again, there's so much. Now it's just crazy, and we are in a consumer world where people are trying to reinvent the wheel with so many exercises and so many foods and supplements and yeah, it must be very, very hard for people to know what works and what doesn't work. And then you've got the master marketers out there with their triggers and their clicks and all their lovely photographs telling you take this and then you can get like that. So yeah, I see a lot of information out there. Not that I particularly buy into too much of it, because I've kind of got my path, and I'm kind of laughing because, as I said to you earlier off camera, I was at a festival yesterday, and it was my girlfriend said to me, "You were probably the fittest guy there, 61." Like, but I was enjoying myself. It wasn't about me being the fittest guy, but like there wasn't particularly many people that were in great shape. They were enjoying themselves, and I'm not judging; it's their lives. But yeah, lifting heavy weight and making sure you're doing it, correctly. But you have to really still work out intensely.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes a difference, like what the intensity is within the hour. Because I still can go to the gym, I can spend 1 hour in the gym and lift 5 kilograms, and okay, that's it, concluded, right? The intensity was not there. So obviously, it's all about like how much effort you put in, and also assuming that you are doing the right things. And this is where it's important, what you said, that less is most of the time is more, but you need to choose the right things to do. So I also assume that there's so many like bad ideas that people buy into, that I need to do this, I need to do that exercise, I need to do a lot of cardio, I need to do a lot of weight training, I need to do a lot of la 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 la. There's like always more, and people tend to add more stuff. So what is your approach when, let's say, someone reaches out to you that, hey, Andy, I have seen you, I'm in my 50s, let's say, and I want to look like you, but right now, I don't know, like I'm just in a horrible shape. Like all the decades kind of like rubbed on me.
I mean, my first answer to that is I can get you a fit, strong body. Yeah, that'd be my answer to someone in their 50s. I'll get you, I can tell you, I've got all the stuff to show you. You're not going to look like me. That's not going to happen. And again, I'll ask if they've got a family, and if they've got children, they're going to eat with their children, going to eat with their family. It's just not going to happen. And again, this six-pack thing, which I've got, yeah, it's too much trouble. Yeah, so just have a fit, strong body, realistically. Yeah, that's not. And again, I've had that said a couple of times, but I've had to say to them, that's really this has been a long time in the making, and I religiously never miss any sessions, any week, training core 3 times a week. I'm not going to train you like that. You're not going to have time to do that, which I've had CEOs. You're going to be in a meeting, you're going to be at that. You're not going to do this. You're not going to train without me, usually. But that's why I exist. I have clients now, and they won't train if I don't come. I come. They paid me. They'll train, but they won't. They're not going to do it without me. That's why I exist.
Yeah, I guess the accountability component of the coaching is
exactly
what's important, because nowadays everybody can go on ChatGPT and ask like, okay, like what's the best training plan for me? And then it gives you something, then you start doing it. But okay, are you still doing the right things? Are you doing them correctly? Are you holding yourself accountable? All of that. So that there is way more to coaching than just the training plan itself. Who are the people that you usually work with? Like what's the demographics that we are talking about?
Well, I've had a long-term couple that have been with me 5 years, husband and wife. He's a very driven cyclist, and he would have had the bottom half of his body would have been very, very strong legs. The top half of his body not so strong. So again, with him, with every customer I have, I start with core. So I build the core, and then everything follows from the core and exercise to do. So he now looks like, if you looked at him in a t-shirt or saw him, you would know that he's been to the gym and he's in great shape. He's strong, very driven guy. I have another guy who's in his 50s, who's a CEO, a tennis academy, and when I get to train with him, because he's out the country, he's doing different things, and then comes back to me. And just rewinding a bit, you asked me about training someone who says to me, "I want to look like you." The word is, what is sustainable for a person? What's sustainability? What could you sustain this? So I will say, right, what. So and also the other thing is, if I get people asking me about nutrition and can you DM me a diet plan, nutrition plan, I always now say to me, can you send me what you don't like? And they go, what do you mean? I said, send me, because I'm not going to send you a plan and you're going to say, oh, I don't like this and I don't like that. So I obviously learned from that, yeah. And I said, write me an email, tell me what you don't like, and then we can see what's sustainable and what's, what works for you, rather than me sending over something. And so many times in the past, I don't do this, I don't do, and so many people don't do so many things. It's kind of like, whoa, I've just wasted my time, and I don't want to do that. I want to do what's right for people.
Oh yeah, that's such a way just to throw the ball back to them. They come to you with a question, expecting like the perfect plan for them or the perfect advice, and usually that's so true that people just kind of like cherry pick, like, I like this, I don't like that, I'm gonna do this exercise but I don't like that exercise, or I'm gonna eat this food because I naturally like it but I don't like broccoli, I don't like this and that and that, right?
Yeah.
So, and then after that they wonder, why isn't it working?
Yeah.
Like, it's not working. And because you were not following the plan, like you deviated from the plan, you deviated from what actually works and what can be sustainable for you. And yeah, I think that's huge. Just to circle back on something that you mentioned, when you start working with someone, I find it's very interesting that first you build the core. You said that.
Yeah, there'll be core exercises. Will be the first 10 minutes will be core.
Why?
Because the core is king. Because the core is everything. As I just said about when you start with a house, you start with a foundation. The foundation of the body is the core. It's the most disrespected thing on the body. It is also the hardest thing that people don't want to train because they can't see it, because they don't want to do the nutrition to see it. Yeah, or they might maybe get to see it if they want to have a little go at it before they go on holiday, and then usually they get it for 1 or 2 days on holiday, then they go back and have a good time, and I kind of get that. In the new gym I'm in now, there's a particular part of the gym and there's apparatus, and I go to this apparatus, and I'm literally, I kid you not, one of the only people there doing core. I might see the odd 1 or 2 people. It's a nice gym, and they're all, okay, they're young, sitting on these machines over there, doing machine work, which I rarely use machines, by the way. I had a client the other day, and he's looking at all these machines in this new gym, and I said, you can look at all those, but you won't be going on them. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, you'll find out in a minute, but you won't be sitting down on any of those machines. Yeah, you're not coming here. So you're not a bodybuilder. I'm not training you for a bodybuilder. That's all moving exercises. So yeah, and so yeah, I have a totally different process to train people. And again, for me, I am super rare at being natural. It's like the rarest of the rare out there. I am training people, and again, the other one is, what protein, my clients, what protein shake do I don't take protein shakes. You don't need to take protein shakes. Really? Yeah, you're on my last PT. So, well, what happened with your last PT? Yeah, easy, eh? That's why is your last PT. That's where you come to another one.
Yeah, I know that this has been a recurring topic for us as well when we were having our conversation, that you are natural. And you mentioned that over and over and over again, which I feel it's like a very important message as well to put out there. So I did a little experiment that I put that video of you on my Instagram stories, and I asked people to ask some questions. And that was one of the questions. Like, okay, is he natural? Is he on TRT? So I wanted to give you the opportunity as well to share, what are you on, if you are on something?
I'm built by Aldi, which is every Monday I go and get my food from Aldi, and that's it. Yeah, everything comes from the supermarket, and I don't take anything else. I just train hard, sleep well. Obviously, there's a lot more processes that go within it of my lifestyle, from the inside out. I'm very happy, and I've got clarity of what I want and how I want, and also my authentic self. I have had many people approach me to do supplements and to do certain things, and various thousands of dollars or whatever, but that's just a one-off fee. But my authentic self, I wouldn't be authentic if I said yes to those things, to take the money and to plug a supplement that I've never ever been on. Yeah, it's a rare thing to talk to somebody who's natural. It's quite sad, really. But it is what it is. And again, I'm not judging. And younger people coming up, they only see what they see, and they see what their friends see. I'm a very, very, obviously, a very, very strong-minded person. I make up my own mind about things, and always have done from a very young age. So that's why I believe I'm still here natural. And remember, if you're not natural as well, what I see is that people who take steroids, chemical warfare, or whatever, you ain't going to look very good the older you get. Yeah, it's you might have this great body, but if you're taking something that's disturbing this amazing system that we have, this unbelievable body, that is just the best engineering on the planet, in my view. This is what I mean. This is what you get if you do look after it at 61.
Wow, like very impressive. So another question that I received there was, do you know your current testosterone level? Like, do you check it? Have you measured it?
2 years ago, no, 2022, I had full blood work done. Oh, is that 2 years ago? Only 3 years ago now. I had my full blood work done, and I had my testosterone done. The only thing that came out negative was that I overtrained in my blood work. And my testosterone was quite a bit higher than, I can't tell you, I can't remember what it was. And I didn't actually for 1 minute think that my testosterone was going to be lower, because I know how strong I am, and I know how. We'll maybe get this into later. I know that my flow of life and how I live and how I train and everything. And you could go onto my Instagram the other day. I mean, I'm still doing a lot of weight, very heavy, safely at what I call a good 10 reps. So my testosterone, and I will probably go into the fact that my sexual health is very, very well. So that's another thing. If your body is all good enough, which is everything's fine, everything's good, and funny enough, the guy. The company I had it done with, I had to talk to the guy actually talked to me for half an hour. At the end of it, he was a young guy, and said to me, "I'm actually talking with someone who's 15 years younger than you, and I've got to tell him his results are so bad. His testosterone is so low." And he said, "You're 15 years old and yours is higher than it is, way higher than it should be for your age." So, and then he was the one who actually mentioned that. He said, quite seriously, he said, "With these results, I'm assuming you have really good sexual health." I says, "I have very good sexual health, yeah." And he said, and he seriously said, "That is the result of good testosterone in your body, pure and simple."
But do you do something for it intentionally, or it just naturally happens that your testosterone levels are great? Or do you do any of this like hacks, recommendations, how to increase your testosterone level? Like, would you have any recommendation on that?
Squat heavy, 6 sets. Just lightly. You want to see your testosterone? Still after I squat, my testosterone is high. I know it. I come out the gym, I've squatted, I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I know how my body works. I listen to my body. I don't need to listen to anyone else. Yeah. And what does anyone else know anyway? Who's telling me? Who's looking like me? Younger than me? Telling me about this, telling this about that. So, yeah, I don't listen to, I get the results of myself. I train the way I train. I'm a very, very fit, healthy guy. And I don't buy into to all the bullshit that's happening.
It's great that you mentioned that, because I think I have this memory that I was watching this video from Andrew Huberman, and he was saying that there is correlation between your testosterone level and the strength of your legs. But again, like, don't quote me on this. That's what I remember. So maybe that's the way then. Like, you need to do like 5 heavy squats to maintain your testosterone levels. And whether we like it or not, leg day is usually the day that people hate doing the most, and they try to avoid it.
And when you squat, learn to squat low. Yeah, not just putting some weight on the back. You've got to, again, you got to, the stretching's involved as well. It's another thing that's not really talked about. Stretching before and stretching after. 100%, especially the older you get, you can't get away from stretching. You can get away with it in your 30s. You can get away with it maybe to early 40s, whatever. I mean, I do play tennis 3 to 4 times a week, and it's cross-training tennis. And I've always played a racket sport as my aerobic, which I'll say to anyone, if you want to do aerobics, do something you love, so that you're never going to push yourself if you're just going to go on a running or whatever. Find something you like doing, and then it's going to work for you. But yeah, the squatting is the king. And it's funny, in my new gym, we have, I think, 6 or 7 kind of machines that do squats. I think only 4 or 5 squat racks. Funny enough, I'll probably be doing legs today on a Monday, and then I'll always get on a squat rack. They'll all be on the machines and doing different things, but they do not want to put the weight on their back, or they're scared of hurting their back, or they're scared of the wrong form, so yeah, a lot of people are afraid of squats. But yeah, it's
including myself as well. To be honest,
and you've got to learn to love it. Yeah, you've just got, and even if you don't even start with just the bar, and then study how to go down with the bar as deep as you can, and again. Okay, I kind of get it. A lot of younger people want to be seen to be pushing weight and pulling weight as they're younger. Maybe I did when I was younger. That's not going to happen when you just get onto a squat bar and do it properly, yeah, and squat low. And again, apart from having good legs and good leg strength, it's the testosterone builder.
Have you ever tried TRT?
Never. No. Funny enough, my very, very close friend of mine is just had it, started taking it in the last few months. I kind of see, he's kind of said to me about, you trying TRT. I said, I'll let you be my guinea pig. Yeah, you let me see what you take it. Let me see what it does to you. He's 58. So and he kept saying to me, I'm going to do it at 60, and I said, whatever. So yeah, very good friend of mine, and so I've seen the difference in his body. I've seen the density of his body. He's not
in a positive way.
I mean, obviously, only he hasn't got any stronger. We train together, and he's not any stronger than me. So that's kind of like, yeah. And he's doing it for his own reasons. I'm not judging. If somebody wants to go on it, and he's talked about it, so he literally is. Somebody like I've just said is a guinea pig. I'm seeing exactly what he's getting from it. But no, I've been natural all my life, and I'm very, very. The process I have now about how I train and how I work out, I'm still feeling really, really strong and healthy, and again, I suppose 3 years ago when I had my testosterone done with my blood panels, which I've been a bit lazy. I need to get around and maybe have it again. But yeah, it was fine. It was a lot higher than I don't know what I thought it would be. I didn't actually think it would be low. Again, because I have listened to lots of things and lots of podcasts. Again, I only listen to things that particularly that add to my life. So I don't try to waste my time listening to a lot of stuff that's just it's kind of repeating itself over and over again. And then why would I listen to stuff anyway on health and fitness most of the time that I know it is probably not for me. It's probably for other people or other ages, or at the end of the day they're trying to sell something.
Usually that's what happens. You mentioned quite a few interesting things here, which is stretching, squats. You do 3 to 4 times a week tennis, like racket sports, right?
Yeah.
And that's the sport that they linked to longevity as well.
And outside as well.
So,
outside is also the big key thing about. I used to play racket. I used to play squash for 30 years, then some racquetball, and a little story. When COVID came, my friend who I've just been talking about, who was a paramedic, he built a gym in the back of his garden, which if anyone goes onto my Instagram will see me. I call it the Moose Gym. There's a moose, an iron moose in its back garden. It's a moose gym, and we started training there in COVID. I would go over there. And in 2020, and it was like some of the most amazing training I'd done. 2020 was beautiful sunshine. I was outside training. I was chilling with my mate, having the most unbelievable training time. And I just thought, I'm going to play tennis. I need to get out more. I need to stop playing squash and get out more. And it was one of the best things that's ever happened to me is playing tennis outside. I'm part of a great tennis community. I still go out when it's really cold, or just wrap up in the winter. That doesn't bother me. And I've made some really, really good friends. And that has super added to my life as well.
So what difference does it make, in your opinion, to play inside or outside?
Well, we're not meant to be inside. We're inside too much. We're meant to be outside. We're also meant to get the sun. We're meant to get the sun. Or there's this, again, there's so much stuff about the sun and creams and look out for the sun and look out. I absolutely love being outside. I actually love getting the vitamin D in my eyes. I mean, sometimes I'm on the court playing doubles. I play doubles and singles, and if it's a nice day and I've kind of wandered off, I'm actually looking into the sun, and it's hitting me on my face, and it's coming into my pupils, and I'm feeling so alive, like just being outside in the sun, just so aware of the amazing thing that the sun delivers, vitamin D.
Yeah, from the sun you observe all of that energy.
Yeah, energy. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah, we haven't even got into that. The energy. That's exactly right. Yeah.
So tell me about that, because that was also a topic I wanted to touch on. During our preparation call, there was something that you mentioned that kind of stuck with me, which was about energy. And to me, it almost felt like that energy was the real success metric, because you are still out there, you are active, and also like how you think about energy is pretty much one of the most important things that we can have in our life. So how do you view this topic, energy?
It's everywhere, isn't it? It's all around us. It's how we take it in. It's who we mix with. What's their energy? What's the kind of? I mean, I very rarely mix with anyone, or there's anyone in my life that has not got good energy or a nice person. And I'll give you an example. A few months ago now, we had a guy in our tennis team. And he took the game far too seriously. At the end of the game, tennis is hitting the ball over a net, and it's low impact and this guy was taking it far too seriously. So in doubles, he would kind of like was just this annoying energy of like the ball was in, and we were all saying no way it was in, and that. Anyway, one of the guys decided, right, we're getting rid of this guy. His energy is affecting himself and 3 other people. Yeah. And I didn't actually expect this particular guy, who's a very, very non-stressful guy, and just had enough of this guy. And I was kind of like, thank God for that. We got rid of that guy finally. His energy is rubbish. It was just, so that's an example. So yeah, got rid of that crappy energy. I've never really enjoyed playing with him or around him, and was just about to drop out anyway. But we got rid of the energy. And I think also there's a big thing for me personally is having female energy. So female and male energy need to be together. You need, in my view, I have an amazing lot of female energy. I mean, funny enough, Friday evening, I had dinner with my two daughters. They don't live near together, and so I don't rarely see them together. So I'm having dinner with my two daughters and just having this amazing chat with them, not just because they're my daughters, but just where they come from and what they say and how they are. And I'm feeling this energy. And I mean, and it was just lovely to be around them and some of the questions and things that were brought up about what was going on with me and what was going on with them. I also have an amazing, my mother is 82 this year. There's nothing wrong with her, takes no medication, does multiple sports, another inspirational to me. My sister, I play my sister tennis. We've just been on a tennis holiday. That's fantastic. Then my amazing partner who's written some social media for me. So I have all this fabulous, amazing female energy around me. Again, that makes me such a great person, better person to be, because obviously I've got my clients and male clients and plenty of male around me, but female energy and male energy, it just totally makes a person a better person, in my view.
Yeah, and it's also proven that in longevity, social relationships is one of the foundational blocks.
Yes.
Of how long people live in good health.
Yeah.
So I love that you mentioned that. And just to stay on the topic of energy, and you were also telling me this before, that you love being in the energy of flow. And you were also referring to something that you call the flow states of life. Can you just unpack that a little bit? Like what's the flow states of life?
Your mindset, which again, you know, we people mention mindset and your subconsciousness of what you have in front of you, of what you think about, of how thought patterns. I'm probably going a little bit deep. Are embedded in you, and how you can and how you can actually adapt quite quickly. I remember seeing a podcast, whenever it was, a few months ago, about a guy who had like a 7-second rule, and if this thing did particularly add to his life, or he couldn't change it, then he would say, right, that's it, I'm done with that. I'm not going to keep that thought in my head. It doesn't serve me. So I've kind of learned to get this kind of flow state of mind, which also from the flow state of mind becomes gratitude. So I have a saying which is gratitude is the gateway to happiness. So if gratitude is in your life, then you start to change your mindset of how fortunate you are to just have your health. Apart from anything else, you have health. Yeah, which is, again, the old cliche saying, your greatest wealth. And then you unpack how lucky you are to have where you live, where you come from, and then the whole state of your mind starts to have gratitude about where you are. I mean, I'm not a person who's particularly driven by money. I'm one of those people that is into experiences, not things. So I have set up my mind. Example, I will often say, probably when I'm driving to tennis sometimes, and I do play in a lovely place, Leamington Spa, and I drive down to this beautiful leafy place with trees, and I would say gratitude for my life, gratitude for my health, gratitude for my family, gratitude to my friends, gratitude for Shan, who's my partner. And then I will say, carpe diem, seize the day, because you're not getting it back. So I have built this flow of thoughts around gratitude in my life, yeah, that give me an amazing mindset of how lucky I am.
This is a recurring topic that I get from other people as well, gratitude. And the way one of my friends explained gratitude to me is that when you actually acknowledge the things that life has already given you and you are grateful for it, you acknowledge it and you put it out there, then that's the energy that you are actually calling in. It's not just that like, okay, check, but it's more like that you are drawing that kind of energy in and you're more likely to get more of the stuff that you actually appreciate. I don't know how spiritual you are, but if you talk in terms of, again, like energy, then the energy that you put out there, that's the energy that you are also going to get back. And then the universe is smart. It sees that, okay, so Andy is on this energetic vibration. This is what he is grateful for. That's what he wants. And then, okay, that's what I'm going to give him. And if it's positive, then you are going to get positive stuff. But if you are vibrating on a negative frequency, then that's exactly what you are going to bring in. And then after that, that like ripples into, like flows into every single part of your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your business, whether it's your relationships, like all of that. So I love that you mentioned gratitude. Do you have a routine around it? Like, so what you said was already great. So is this like a mantra that you say every single day, or do you journal, or what kind of other practices do you do that you feel that contributes to your health state?
That's generally, I will say that whenever I feel it. I'll say that, you know, what I've just said to you there, a ritual. There is some other things that I say, not as regular as that, but I do say them out loud as well. Also, I believe in, if you give back as well, if you help people and you give back to. It's okay, me sitting here telling everyone or whatever, I've got this great life and I'm good, but you want to help people and give back. And this kind of really came to me about 14 years ago. I don't know why, but I decided to do something charitable because, again, my life was so good, and to this day I don't know why I did it, but I actually joined an organisation called the Samaritans. So I don't know if you'd be familiar with that, but it's kind of like doing a phone.
What is it about?
So it's a phone service where you do, I think it was back in the day, it was 2 4-hour sessions a week, and people would phone you up and you would listen to them. So the Samaritans would you must have heard of a Samaritan. Is kind of like a person who rescues. So I would do this charitable work and sit in the office, and then random people will phone up. And they'll talk to you, and you're trained to listen to them. And then a lot of the time they'll say, well, what do you think? And I would say, it's nothing to do with what I think. I'm just here to listen to you. Yeah, I'm sure your friends and your family have been prepared to tell you about what you're telling me, but I'm just here to listen to you and listen to your options. And we'll look at your options. And I had heard some of the most horrendous things that people phone up anonymously to this charity I was work for. And you do have to be trained, because not everyone can take away what you've been told and leave it. So I was one of those kind of people that could kind of process it. But when I did my 4 hours, and after that 4 hours, I'd open the door. And again, I was in gratitude, thinking, "Oh, you're so lucky that what you've heard tonight, or these people and what's happened to them, and just some really terrible stuff." But they, again, really appreciated that someone was there to kind of listen to them. And I remember going to a big conference with the Samaritans, and one of the senior people got up on stage and they said, "Who in the audience has contacted the Samaritans and become a Samaritan?" And 2/3 of the audience all put their hands up. So they'd all contacted the Samaritans to be helped, and they'd all become a Samaritan through being helped by the Samaritans. So that was when kind of gratitude and realizing that you've got to give back in life to help people and have a good mindset.
How much do you think this kind of activities contribute to your overall well-being?
Oh yeah, I mean it's my journey, isn't it? I mean life is about choices and decisions, and then there's also self-awareness, isn't there? Um, of what you want out of life, how you want to live your life. Um, so, yeah, so for me, I mentioned earlier on about not being into money particularly. I'm not driven by money, but experiences. But I do know that I like to go away 4 times a year. Yeah, I like 4 holidays at the least and different things. So my mindset, my clarity is I'm going to go away. I don't care about a car. I don't care about decorating my house. This is my mindset, but I'm going away literally every few months to have a holiday and enjoy my life and in different experiences and different things. That's my awareness of what I want. And again, that comes back to clarity. Clarity is the massive term. What is the clear vision that a person wants for themselves without all the noise? Yeah. What do you really want for you?
I think people are really struggling with that because there's so much noise, and they just internalize other people's desires and goals as theirs, and then it creates confusion. Then after that it comes comparison. Then who should I listen to, who I shouldn't listen to?
Yeah.
So, like, what kind of practices do you do to help you gain clarity in your life? Like, what are the things that, like, you say yes to? What are the things that you say no to? If there is any particular routine or something that you are like completely close off in order to not distract you.
Well, okay. I'll give you my clarity. I came into be a PT at 52. I was a little bit of a story. I was working at I was working at Jaguar Land Rover, which is a car company right where I live. Didn't like it being in an office doing. It was a good job as well, good job. And then I went on to do something else on the internet. And then at 52, I decided to take a job at a gym and spa. Now they were offering 24 hours a week, or they were offering a 40-hour contract. So I thought, if I do 40 hours, I'm not going to give myself enough time to carve out what I want to do, which is, to get to be a personal trainer. So I decided that, right, I'm going to do 24 hours and then I'm going to work on my business. So with that, I thought, right, how can I get some more money? So I decided to rent out a room in my house. A lot of people, oh, God, how could you have a lodger? How could you do this? How could you do that? But that was my clarity. So that lodger paid for my bills, had him in my house. And actually, I met some really quite nice people. It wasn't the same guy. There was different lodgers coming in my room. That's what I was prepared to do in my house, to have a stranger. And as it worked out, I lived by Land Rover, and most of the people in my area worked at Land Rover. So I got engineers and nice people that stayed at my house and paid my bills while I was building up my business. So I think a lot of people don't know how to step back. They just have to. They get to a point, and they've got to have this, and they've got to have that, and they keep going forward, and they don't take it. So I had to take a step back, and didn't have a lot of money, but I knew my clarity. I knew where I was going. Yeah, and by having the lodger and by talking to people and saying, I could never have a lodger in my house. How could you do that? So, well, yeah, that's you. This is me. This is my life. This is your life. Yeah, doesn't bother. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I will say. I mean, obviously, I haven't got a partner I live with or children, so that's a little bit different. I'm just explaining kind of like my journey of stepping back to basically start my life again at 52, to have clarity of right now, it's now or never, and it's become very successful. Again, not massively successful in the fact that money wise, I could definitely have a lot more income, but time is super important to me. So my clarity of who I train, what I do, and what I do with my time, because the clock is ticking.
It does indeed. And I think a lot of people over 60, they really start feeling that as well, right?
I don't actually think too much about, don't get me wrong, about that, as that I'm never, ever one of those people, and I hear this loads, I used to do this, and when I was this, and I heard this in the people in their 40s, and when I was this, and I used to train like this, and oh, really? And I hear all this. And again, I'm sometimes around people, and they're like, they forget how old I am. They're in the, I'm 15 years older than some of them. They're starting to sound really old. Again, this is the other term about don't let the old man in. So once that starts to creep in you, oh, I used to be this. This is people in their 40s, sometimes in their 30s. Oh, really? Yeah, come to the gym with me. I'll show you about life or training or good things. Yeah, it just, again, I'm mostly around positive, very, very positive people with good attitudes and want to work on themselves.
Like the more we talk, the more I started to understand your own philosophy for life. And like one of the things that also stood out to me, besides all the great things that you are doing, was when you said that you were approached by a bunch of other opportunities and companies to give you some money in order to endorse this and that supplement, right? Which would have been probably an amazing financial aid, especially in times when you have to like take a couple of steps back in order to get where you would like to get in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what was guiding your decision, like to say completely no to all of these opportunities? Because it seems like you said no to everyone.
Maybe it's a lot rarer than I realised, but it's just being your authentic self, isn't it? That's why I'm my authentic self. That's why I posted a video of me being my authentic self yesterday, dancing away at a festival, just being happy outside, enjoying life, fit and strong, and with mental clarity, and not thinking, oh, I really shouldn't have taken that money for the supplement, which I've never taken and I never will take. If you're not your authentic self, then what have you got?
Very important. And that's also one of the reasons why I started this podcast, because finding our authentic self and being in alignment with ourselves is probably the number one thing that we can do for ourselves in our lives. But I also feel that that can be quite a bit of a struggle for so many, exactly for the reasons that we have already detailed, like so much noise, so many different opinions, different kind of desires, all of this temptation all over the place and so on. So let's say if someone is listening, like what would you recommend them to do in order to help them to actually find their true authentic selves? Because I think most people don't even know themselves.
Well, there's one thing that comes to mind, and it's patience is not a weakness. And again, people want everything so fast and so quick. Yeah, but if you have patience and you really want something to happen, it will happen. But we're in this world of now all the time. Yeah. You've got to be patient, and you've got to keep doing what you believe in, adapt along the way, and get the right information. And again, that is very, very, very hard. Because we've just said there's so many people out there now. It's just crazy the amount of information's out there, and finding the right people to give it. And then again, I hear so much in front of me down the gym saying this and saying that, and I listen, and yeah. But the younger people, it's their time, isn't it? It's what's in front of them, social media, all these distractions, all these videos. I wasn't brought up in that era, so again, people say to me, "Well, what's your body fat?" I don't know. I never look at my body fat. I'm not interested. Have you got a watch on? I don't want to be distracted by watching a watch and watching the time and stuff. I just look at myself, how I look in the mirror, how I want to be. Again, that's a personal thing. I don't want social media distracting me or taking my life. Yes, I listen to podcasts. Yes, I watch TV. doing a podcast with yourself. But it takes so many hours of your life. I think the phone and social media. It's almost as though people are addicted to it.
I mean, that's for sure. I mean, like that's an undeniable fact that people are addicted to their phones, addicted to social media, addicted to doom scrolling, all of that, which essentially just takes time away from spending with themselves, which would fundamentally, if I get this correctly, would actually help them to better understand themselves and discover their true authentic self if they were like not being so distracted by all of this external influences.
It could sound kind of corny or whatever, not to me, but it's learn to love yourself. Yeah. We're very self-absorbed human beings. There's no doubt about it. It's even more so, obviously, with the phone and stuff. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on Instagram posting pictures of me. I'm hoping that when I post my story on there, again, it's not monetized. I'm not after the algorithm. But if I get to inspire a few people and people DM me saying, oh, I'm in my 40s and you look fantastic and I aspire to be something, like you at 60, that's kind of like what I'm doing it for. I mean, I have, hopefully in July, I will have a little bit of social media out there to back that up. But yeah, I'm out there to try and inspire and to, again, going back to pushing the natural thing as well. But everything starts with you've got to love yourself. You've got to like who you are, and it all starts from the inside out. I might look great on the outside, but it's from the inside that it's all come.
I already gave this example before on this podcast that I have this friend of mine and they run a self-development community in Greece. And what they did is that they launched a challenge for self-love, which was, I think it was like a month-long challenge that people had to do different exercises that helped them to love themselves. And that was their most popular program they have ever launched. And it was kind of surprising and shocking because great for them that they found something interesting. But the message that we all internalize is that, oh, wow, people really struggle with this. Like so many people don't feel that they are on that state that they love themselves, which is kind of scary. And yeah, I think we all go through those kind of like peaks and valleys and moments when it's like, okay, like how much I love myself. And a lot of people question that as well. And this was also probably the number one advice that another person who I interviewed on this podcast, his name is Mikey Breeds. I sent you his video before that he is also a big advocate for self-love. It's also in his guide as well. And it's absolutely incredible. Like it cannot be emphasized enough how important it is.
Well, too many people care what people think. Yeah, I mean, I know. Again, that's something that you've got to build up self-confidence. But yeah, they're super bothered about what somebody thinks or somebody DMs them or some kind of negative stuff, or when it really doesn't matter. Yeah, just most people and most of the stuff I get good messages, and 90% I get the odd one saying whatever, but I kind of like feel sorry for them. But anyone who would sit down and put any kind of negative, think anything, what kind of a person is that anyway? Who wants to sit down and want anything negative? What does that say about them? But without a doubt, I am come back to gratitude that I've had a very, very good life with a lot of great people around me, a massive influence from my mother, who's a very inspiring person for me. And so I've had that along the way to be the person I am. And then again, I've just mentioned, my sister, my girlfriend, my daughter. It's a great female energy. And you've got the one word anyway, never mind self. What about love? It all comes down to love at the end of the day. It all comes down to community and being. Again, I'm going back to that festival yesterday. All these people there as well, dancing. And again, music. music is just, I mean, it can just turn your brainwaves off. The amount of times in the morning I come down and what kind of music am I going to play? And then I'm just lifted out of this thing. And don't get me wrong, Adam, I have times when I have kind of blue times or down times. I don't know. It doesn't happen a lot, but you're allowed to be, a little bit down and unhappy for whatever reason, even if I'm telling you this and that and the other. You're allowed to just be down. It's a natural process of a human being, or of our mind is. Or, I mean, it doesn't happen a lot to me, but there are some times I say, I feel a bit down today. I feel a little bit blue. And the only thing I've found about that is find music. I'll find some kind of music or whatever the music is and put it on, and then my brain waves are kind of like, oh, wow. And I've kind of forgotten about it. Yeah, music is and all sorts of music as well. It's just, and I probably, the older I've got more and more into. So I'll give you an example. I don't know if you've heard of a guy. I'm sure you have Ennio Morricone.
I don't know.
One of the best composers ever, like amazing. One of the best films ever. Paradiso, and it's an Italian film, absolutely beautiful film, and it's got the music of Enrico.
Just send it to me on WhatsApp. I'm just so bad with names and titles and all of that.
Right. My point being is his music has turned me to tears. There's a couple of things that I've just been having my breakfast, and there's a particular track, and it just from nowhere I get emotion from how he plays it. So that's the power of the music that can put your mind in a different state if you're either a little bit down or you want something a little bit upbeat, and then you play it. Yeah. So music is also a big part of my life, which is played quite a lot. And again, I don't listen to any kind of radio stuff. I listen to my own Spotify music, and again, I don't want to waste time, so I want to listen to music that is. I don't want to listen to ads. I don't want to listen to a DJ. I just want to listen to ads and music that make me feel great. And again, it's turning negative time into positive time. Is which when I first came across podcasts back in the day, and I remember back in the day. First listening to, I think it was Joe Rogan in 2008, and I was listening to all these rubbish, and then podcasts started then, and then I started listening to a lot of stuff on the radio, and then I started into a lot more music, and discovering music just took my brainwaves to another level. Again, added to my life music.
Yeah, amazing. I love that suggestion, and you need to send me that track so I can also put it in the show notes as well, we can spread the word around it.
Yeah, amazing.
But I also wanted to ask you about your upcoming program, because I know that you are working on a program where you are going to reveal all of your secrets, your tips, tricks, regimens, routines, everything. Can you just tell us about what is that about?
Well, the title's Look After Your Future Self. And it's what they call a flip book, and it's going to be an interactive book which has got videos in it. It's got all my sayings, because I have quite a few sayings that kind of guide me or relate to me. And so there's all it's my partner's has written the whole thing and put it on there. And a flip book, it kind of flips over each page and it can go into the videos. So it's I 100% believe in my heart there is something in there for everyone. And there's also a nutritional secret that no one's talking about that I've been taking for over a decade that changed my life and my body internally, externally, which will come out, which again, nobody's talking about it, and I kind of thought over the years that it would probably come out or something would be said about it, and nothing's been said about it. So that's a little hook, but yeah, this mindset, nutrition, training, look after your future self will be everything I do. So I said at the beginning, this is what I do. Yeah, I said people can't go back. Well, what about this? What about that? No, this is what I do. And I can say that because I think I am one of the few people in the world that looks like this at 61. And again, it is from the inside out. Yeah. And you've got to have muscle on your body as you age to protect yourself. So it's an absolute fact. I see lots of stuff out there, but we all know now it is science based. And I don't want to get into science too much, but you literally have got to build muscle and keep muscle on your body to have a very, very healthy life. Even for the fact we just mentioned about legs alone, just getting out of a chair, just getting out of your car. Yeah. If you don't work and try and put some kind of muscle and tone your body, you're not going to have the best life. You're gonna have a kind of creaky life. So, I mean, in my mind, I'm looking at playing tennis in my 80s, and there's people at my club who are playing in their 80s. So my mindset is keeping this strong body and being strong and fit and running around in my 80s. We haven't mentioned, as I say, we haven't mentioned obviously, and again, it's a topic, nutrition, which is a lot about. There's a lot to unpack about it. And again, like I said earlier, what's sustainable for one people. I will give in there. What I eat. I'll probably say 80% of the week I'll eat very, very clean. 20%, then obviously I'll cut myself a little bit of slack, but 80% I will be eating. It's quite funny that people say, "Oh, I couldn't eat that every morning," and I said, "Well, what do you eat every morning then?" And then they tell me the same thing. Well, I said, "Yeah, just because you don't like what I eat every morning, but you're still eating the same thing every morning. Huh? No, oh, that's not even any good what you're eating, by the way." So yeah, look after your future self. Hopefully,
Who is it for?
what?
Who is the target? Who is the target audience?
I think the target audience is for everyone because it's got mindset, it's got nutrition, it's got some particular workout stuff that I do within it that again people don't do or don't use. I don't want to give it all away, but there's this definite stuff in there. I don't train people like other people, yeah, and I take a particular equipment to certain people, and they say, well, "What's that? What am I going to do with that?" And I say, "You're about to find out." So it's very different how I train people. And again, I don't train people like I train myself. Yeah, I still probably train personally like a bit of a bodybuilder in a way. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I do train. Most parts of my body, everything. That's just the way I like to train. And again, as nutrition goes, there is a saying, "Eat for the body you want." So I eat a certain way because I want a certain body, yeah, and I want to be able to also train a certain way so that the nutrition is also that way.
I think the younger audience is already way more aware than, let's say, for example, my parents' generation.
Yeah,
And I also aspire to look like you
yeah,
when I'm going to be in my 60s. And when I talk to my parents about these topics, they don't have the same interest or desire.
yeah.
So maybe that's why. But whenever it's out, I'm going to put it in the show notes and description so people have access to it. I'm also very curious about that massive cliffhanger that you left here about the nutrition. I don't know what that could be, but maybe you can just share a secret with me in private over WhatsApp, and I promise I will not share it with anybody else. But I have prepared a couple of fire questions for you. So quick questions, quick answers.
Go for it.
You ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you could get everyone to understand just one thing about their health, what would it be?
What health is your greatest wealth, and take the natural approach.
What's your number one personal non-negotiable when it comes to staying in peak performance?
Water. Most people reach for food instead of hydration.
What is one thing every founder or entrepreneur you think should stop doing today if they care about their longevity?
Oh, that's they care about their longevity. just get aligned with who you are. Get aligned with what's inside you, what you want. Again, I'm coming back to this word of clarity. If you want to have a healthy, strong life, you've got to have exact clarity of how you want to lead your life.
I'm a big advocate for that as well. So I love that. And then one last question. Let's imagine that all of your contacts on social media were deleted and you could only follow one person for health and wellness. Who would you follow?
Dr. Berg.
Dr. Burke.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just love how he does it. I love what he does. You know who he is?
Is he like a scientist? Like, does he also talk about like spirituality
He's
and
a doctor
esoteric stuff?
on YouTube, and just great. He said, "Look, yeah, 13 million, whatever. I'm not the only one who follows him. Other people, yeah, just great. He gives you natural remedies as well to follow and to do. And actually, so for example, I passed it on to my partner, and I think her daughter-in-law had gallstones, and he recommended taking this natural remedy, and she passed him in a month. And she'd been to the doctors and she'd done this and done that, and I've heard other things. So he gives really, really good advice. So yeah, I don't usually follow anyone, or I've never actually grown up thinking I want to be like anyone, or I look to anyone. I follow myself on my own path, but I have come across Dr. Berg with natural remedies and natural foods, and yeah, he's very, very good. Yeah, very, very good. I will leave one thing with you as well, which I'm not affiliated to, but and I think they're not backed by any big massive company. It's someone called the Yucca app, YUKA. So you can get this app and you can scan all barcodes, and it gives you alternatives underneath. You think you're wearing a really good cream, and it will give you good, bad, and it will give you 2650. And for instance, I just came across a cream 100 out of 100, which is super rare. Like, because I have it, we haven't touched on it, but I have it. For many, many decades, I have a skin routine, so which I adhere to. But this Yucca app is if you get it on your phone and pass it on, it does all the barcodes and gives you what's in it. It's no good, yeah, and you get that out on your phone and to your community and to the world. It gives people a lot more awareness of what kind of stuff they're buying, putting on themselves, and the best alternatives.
Is your skin routine gonna be in the program as well? The look after your future self?
Again, it's just a process that I've always done. It's not like you just I have this skin and it's just because I've trained and drunk water. There's a little bit more to it than that. Yeah, definitely.
Well, I think I already have plenty of reasons why I would like to get your program for your six-pack, for your skincare routine, for the secret nutrition plan. Yeah, very excited to have that come out. Awesome. Like, this has been great. I love that, I think this conversation, what really helped me to understand, it's not just about the things that we can do, it's more about the state that we can be in. And this is where, having this conversation with you to understand more the inner philosophies that you live by that can contribute to a physique, what you have for yourself. It's not that simple. It's like, okay, I exercise and I have the six-pack and boom, done. Or I take this supplement and boom, done. Like, there's like an entire lifestyle and mindset that you need to cultivate in order to have that kind of physique that you have. Amazing. Is there anything else that you would like to mention before we wrap it up? Any final message to the audience?
Don't stop, working on the greatest journey of your life yourself.
I think that's a great way to wrap it up. This is the pod for the day. Thank you so much for coming on, and we are going to be back soon.
Enjoyed it. Enjoyed what your forum's doing, and good positive stuff, and you're getting it out there. So I'm only happy to try and inspire a few people that just because you're getting a bit older, don't let the old person in, and self love.